Shavua Tov, a gute Woche, and welcome to our program. We're in the month of Elul, and last week we spoke about the Rebbe's moshel that he brings from the Alter Rebbe of the king in the field, Melech Basode. In a Maimer that the Rebbe said, the Maimer starts Anila Deidi V'Deidi Li, and the Rebbe said that Parshas Surah in the year Tovshin Chovov, 1966. The Rebbe explains several parts in, in the moshel of the Alter Rebbe. The Rebbe says that in the moshel of the Alter Rebbe it says, "Kol mi shereitze lotzeis lahagbil ponov," whoever wants to go out to greet the king. Yes, indeed, it says whoever wants to. No one is forced to do it. A person that goes out is because he wants to. He's roitze. He wants to go out and to greet the king. Nevertheless, although the decision is his, and he gives up his own comfort, because in the field no one has the comfort that everyone has in his own house, etc., and that is very understood. And he's giving out his own, he's giving up his own amenities that he has in the house that he does not have in the field. Nevertheless, it comes because he heard that the king is in the field. He heard that the king, the first one who made the movement here is the king. He heard that the king left his palace and all the amenities that the king has. And the king left his palace and he went to the field. And the reason the king went to the field, he doesn't belong in the field. He went there because the people are there. So the subject heard that the king has made that move. So although after that, his own move he makes because of his own will, he's a reitze, nevertheless it started because the king made the first move. The king made the first move out of the palace into the field because that's where the people are. Then here in this Maimah, the Rebbe asks a question. The Alter Rebbe says that the king is mekabel kulom. He accepts everyone. So first of all, we have to understand what does kulom mean. I could have said that he accepts them. What is the kulom? Kulom means everyone. Moreover, the Rebbe says, it says in the moshel of the Alter Rebbe, as that he accepts everyone, b'sevet ponim yofis, amicably, umar ponim seichakis lekulom, and he smiles to everyone, or as the Rebbe said, sheichakis. And here the Rebbe asks, why this double expression? Mekabel kulam b'sevet ponim yofis, that means he accepts them amicably. And it almost sounds like a redundancy. And on this shows everyone a smiling face. Well, we already said that. And what is the difference between yofes and seichakes or sheichakes? Here the Rebbe takes issue with that, and the Rebbe explains. Number one, that when the Alter Rebbe says kulam, it means everyone, whoever came. Now, among those who came to greet the king, there are variations. There are different types of individuals. There are those who are really righteous people, and they follow all the rules and so on. There are also the people in the field who came to greet the king, and they say, Your Majesty, we are here to serve you. But that will is not lasting for a long time. For the moment, he wants to serve the king. Nevertheless, after that, he doesn't have the strength to really return to the king and really do what we call tshuva, because he doesn't have the strength. For the moment, he saw the king, he wants to greet him. So the Alter Rebbe here says, kulom, everyone, even the one that we are not sure what the next step is going to be. However, the king now is showing him a Sefer Ponim Yofis. The Sefer Ponim Yofis gives him the strength to continue and do the tshuva that he would like to do. In as much as before he didn't really have the strength for the tshuva, but now he's out into the field, and now he greets the king, and the king smiles at him, which means that smiling, that Ponim Yofis, shows him a nice face, and then receives him amicably. That gives him the strength to continue with the tshuva. And then the Rebbe says, what does Umale Ponim Sheichakes mean? Sheichakes, whichever we want. The Rebbe says like this. First it says, Mekabel B'Sevet Ponim Yofis. Mekabel means he receives him. In other words, it already happened before. The matter happened. Now the king receives what already happened. The Ponim Seichakes or Sheichakes was not there before. The king did not smile before. He's smiling now. So the Rebbe answers that what does that mean? That through the fact that the people come to the king, and the king is Mekabel Kulam B'Sefer Ponim Yofis, amicably, and that gives him the strength to do tshuva. After that, after he does tshuva, Umale Ponim Seichakes or Sheichakes Lekulam, there is the matter of Scheik, Ozi Mole Scheik Pinu. And the Rebbe brings that Scheik, it says in volume of Kabbalah, that is real tainug, that is real pleasure, that the pleasure that comes from the Atzmius of Almighty God. In other words, after he does the right tshuva, then it's Maleponim Seichakes or Sheichakes to everyone, that he gets the real smile, the Scheik Pinu, the real smile, which is the real pleasure of Almighty God, after he does the proper tshuva. Now, the Rebbe stresses again that there is a hisbeinanus here. There's a certain meditation that a person goes through. And he says, and he's a thinking person, the king is in the field. Do you know what that means? First of all, you see the king in the field, and he's dressed civilly. He's not sitting on the throne. He's not wearing royal garments. He's not wearing a crown. The king departed completely from his royalty, so to speak, to be with the people and the king, with the people in the field, and that reaches the person, and he says, "Look what my king is doing for me. He's leaving his palace, he's leaving his royal garments, and he goes to the field to be together with the people, dressed civilly, without a crown." Just to be together with the people. And that brings about the will of the people to be with the king. He's not coming to greet the king because anybody is forcing him to do it. As he's a Reitzah, he wants to see the king because he sees that the king has made a movement out of the palace into the field for the benefit, although it's an expense on the king. Nevertheless, the king does it as a benefit to the people. Mentioned that the Rebbe has made in our generation a special appropriation that we can ask Bakoshas Tzedokov. Where is that? Where do we find it? So we also find it, Rabbi Say, in a Maimer that starts in a few places, but this Maimer starts of Pasha Sheftim. The Rebbe says that the second day of Chedesh Elul in the year Tovshin Lamed Beis 1972, and at the end the Rebbe says that since the king in Elul is Mekabel everybody B'Sevet Ponim Yofis Umar Ponim Sheichakes Lekulom, Harei bevadai, for sure, she'hamelech memali habakosha shel kol echad ve'echad miYisrael, that the king fulfills the bakosha of everyone. Mentioned before, none of the Rebbe spoke about bakoshas tzlochim. The people are awe-inspired. They come to greet the king. Adeni HaMelech, I'm here to serve you, and I'm happy that the Kesar accepts me. I want to thank you for your patience. You want the story. Well, before we finish, the story goes back many years to the first years of the Nesius of the Rebbe. And I thank you again for your patience. The first years of the Nesius of the Rebbe, and there was a whole group of young people who went in to see the Rebbe. And one of them asks the Rebbe that we heard that you make miracles. Is that correct? And the Rebbe said that every Jew has the power to do miracles. But I'm going to do a miracle for you, the Rebbe said. That each one of you should think of a certain matter that you wanted to do, something good that you wanted to do. But until now, your decision was that inasmuch as this is a good thing to do, you cannot do it because you cannot reach it. It's beyond your ability of reach. Now decide again that you are going to do it, and you are going to reach it. And you are going to prove that the soul, the spirit, has the power over nature. And I am going to make this miracle for you now. And that's what it was. Rabbi say, at the end of this Maimer, the Rebbe says that the king is not only Mekabel Kulam B'Sefer Ponim Yofis Umad Ponim Seichakes or Sheichakes, as the Rebbe would say. The king is also Bevadai Memali Abakosha Shel Kol Echad Ve'echad MiYisrael. The king fulfills the bakosha of each and every single Jew. Now you're going to say, yes, the general bakosha, Aksiv Aksim B'Teva, which is absolutely wonderful, but it's more than that. Shetiya Leksiv Aksim B'Teva L'shon HaTeva Umsuko. He should have Aksiv Aksim B'Teva, which means it should be written and sealed for a good year, for a sweet year. B'Teva Nira Ve'anigle, in something that we can see with our own eyes. And the Rebbe Nishmal Satan said, good is as the vibe sagt, that's good. Not only the husband says it's good, the husband can be Achsida Shari, they learn Samach Vova and Beis, Lakot Sichas, he's spiritual. The wife knows exactly what's happening in this world. And it good means that she also says that it's good. And then the Rebbe says, in spiritual matters, of course, and also in physical matters. And if you want to be specific, we can ask the king. Bone means children, and nachas from children, and children from children, and shidduchim from children. Chaya means life, not only life, but also the extension of life, good health. Great sustenance. This we all understand. Great, but also the Rebbe always says of kulam b'levicha. Nevertheless, the Rebbe stresses, let's not forget, let's not ask only for that, especially lebakosha ho'ikeris, to the main bakosha, and that is geula ho'amitis ve'ashlema alidei Mashiach Tzidkenu. The geula ho'amitis ve'ashlema yove ve'yigoleinu ve'yelechenu kimimius le'altzenu b'kolev mamish. ובגולו דידנו ושמחו ובטוב לבובו וטבע נילה והנגלו למטו מעשרות טפוחים ובחסד וברחמים ותקף ומיד ממש.